Welcome back. It's now 7:30 and time for us to go political. And let's just have a discussion here and make sense of what's been happening across the country in the last 24 hours. And with me in studio, I have got nominated Senator Sylvia Kasanga on Wiper Party, as well as Lavender Ojalla, who is yearning for that seat, woman representative seat in Homabay County. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Today is one man, two ladies show. And I'm going to start with them on a kitchen note because they are good organizers in terms of spending that shilling. For us, give me 1,000 bob and I know what I'll do with it. For them, you give them 1,000 bob, the entire family is fed. Is it okay to start with you, Lavender, that 1,000 bob cannot feed an entire family right now, as alleged?
Yeah, because the cost of living has really gone up. Now 1,000 bob has become useless. Not unlike before, you could go to the supermarket and buy so much with 1,000 shillings. Right now, you get in there, you buy like 2 items, 1,000 is gone, just like that. Because the cost of living has really gone high. And that is why Kenyans are complaining. And I believe something should be done. Not populism, but something must start at the policy formulation stage. It's really sad when we see parliamentarians behaving like commoners, yet they can do something in parliament. Why is the DP complaining like any other Kenyan? Yet he chairs Intergovernmental Budget Committee and the Economic Council. So I believe with the numbers he has in parliament, he can do something in the National Assembly.
He can do something.
So let our leaders stop complaining like the voters. We need to come up with something to sort out this mess once and for all. And electricity and the cost of fuel, that is where the problem begins. So if you can find a way of reducing the cost of fuel and electricity, I think you will be somewhere. Because you can't just tell people to reduce the prices of the commodities, yet there's somewhere that we ought to have started from. So I believe in the whole of this thing, Parliament should be able to formulate policies that can actually guard the way the prices of commodities are done. Yeah, so that is my take about it.
When you talk of Parliament, Sylvia is in the House right now. You stand accused, so to speak, that parliamentarians are not doing their bit to legislate.
It's true. Actually, a lot of people, if you listen to the commentary, will say Parliament has not really done its duty to Kenyans in this electoral cycle. In fact, even the whole question of how did the debt, raise to the levels that it has risen, you can say that the watchdog of government, who is Parliament, did not put their foot down adequately, did not monitor adequately, did not say no enough at the right time, of which when the government was seeking these, extensions and, moving up the debt ceiling to now where we are at. And that's a fact. Most parliamentarians will tell you that that is the situation as it is. But now that we are where we are right now, actually it is very distressing, even to me, that I'm seeing my fellow parliamentarians now politicizing this situation, a situation that is really affecting Kenyans. Like Mheshimiwa here is saying, truly Kenyans are suffering. The cost of living has gone up. You don't even need to be, I don't know, a rocket scientist to figure out that the cost has gone up. I mean, you just need to go and shop for a few, daily items, bread, milk, and you can see there's a significant difference from what it was probably a year ago, 2 years ago. So the fact remains that the inflation is biting Kenyans, and it's biting on the most basic of commodities, and that is unacceptable in a country like today. So instead of parliamentarians going out there and using this as a campaign tool, and the ones in fact who are shouting the loudest, let me tell you, the ones who are shouting the loudest, you'll be surprised that they were sitting in committees that allowed the government in the first instance to raise the debt ceiling. They were the ones who were sitting in those delegated legislation committees and the finance committees of the National Assembly about 3 years ago.
Would you mention them?
Well, I can't mention them, but they're affiliated to Kenya Kwanza. And right now they're the ones who are speaking the loudest, yet they were part and parcel of the raising of the debt ceiling in our country today. Now they're using it as a political tool to go and tell Kenyans that they are the ones who have the right answers for Kenyans, and that is really wrong. That is playing with the livelihoods of Kenyans. That is, playing with the psyche of our Kenyan people. And I hope Kenyans can see through this. I hope Kenyans can see that they're being played with. And they should really take action now that the election is coming here so that they can choose their right leaders. But that is the situation.
Absolutely. And when you're in town here, we feel the pinch. equally people down there in Mashinani. Mheshimiwa Lavender, when you go to the village and you talk to those people, what's the feeling generally on the ground in terms of economy?
The feeling is that the cost of living has really gone high. They can no longer afford basic commodities like sugar, salt, oil. But in areas where farming is done, we find that our farmers are really doing well. But now transporting these commodities from the farm to the market, it's also expensive because the fuel prices has gone up. They can also not store them because the fuel of the electricity is also up. So this is where the problem started. And I think our leaders should not use the prices of commodities to sway votes for themselves. Because right now we are in the mood of politics. They are trying to use this to whip emotions, yet some of them have been in government for years, you know. So I don't think they're being genuine by using this thing to sway voters. Let us find solutions. There's still time, and I believe those who are in charge can find long-lasting solutions to the skyrocketing prices, I mean, of food. So let us just get down there and get a solution once and for all for our people.
Mheshimiwa Kasanga, what's the actual figure in question? Is it 8 trillion or 11 trillion as said by Kanini Kega?
Well, you know, now in Parliament we'll have to go with what Kanini Kega is telling us, that is the figure that the budget policy statement will be dealing with. That is a figure that will be circulated in Parliament and eventually will come to Senate, because it all emanates from Parliament. Actually, it's a National Assembly that deals with particularly this aspect of debt, because it's a money issue which senators don't deal with. Senators only deal with the county monies. But, you know, going by what Kanini Kega is saying, then it is what he says. But going by a lot of the commentary that I've listened to from our economists, they bank it at 11 billion. And that is 11 trillion. And they're attributing that to the monies that are borrowed by parastatals. And they all form part and parcel of that debt, whether we like to admit it or not. So then there are parastatals that are also borrowing, and of course the payments are going to be done through the Kenya, you know, our taxpayers. So it all boils up to that amount of money. So there's that a bit of impasse there. But I'm not worried, because the right figures will come out. I think what Kanini Kega said is that he has withheld the budget policy statement. Let them look through the numbers one more time and then come back to us and tell us what is the position that we are dealing with right now. So I wouldn't worry too much as at now, because this is something that is live. It's under conversation and is going to be dealt with.
So you all agree that it's been politicized?
Yeah, it's
absolutely
been politicized.
Politicized.
You know, when it comes to politics, matters stomach and politics don't match. They don't go hand in hand. So perhaps the government should, and you as leaders, you have a chance now to rectify the whole situation so that the price of the common commodities is controlled. Okay, let's talk about the issue at hand. You are starting with you, Kasanga. Wiper and ODM and KANU have a deal on Saturday. What's your feeling on that?
What's my feeling on that? Well, number one, Wiper Party, of course, our flag bearer is His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka. We gave him the mandate in the Yatta Declaration to go ahead and negotiate on behalf of the people of Ukambani. And he keeps briefing us on all the conversations he's been having. So we are well briefed. And there's one last bit of the conversation that we are waiting to hear from. So as soon as they come from the politics in politicking in what do you call it, in Mombasa area, in Mombasa region, in the coastal region, then we expect that we shall be briefed on what will happen on Friday. As of now, we are hoping, and really what it is that we want and what it is that we have put our foot down is that any conversations happening with the ODM leader should happen in such a way that both our two leaders, our two flag bearers, are on the same level plate in terms of conversation. They're negotiating as equal partners. This is what people need to really realize. Even when you see the politicians in Ukambani and our governors trying to pull Kalonzo's feet, you can see those memes that they're trying to drag him into Azimio. We are saying that is not how we are going to enter into Azimio. In fact, we are not entering into Azimio. We are having a discussion, we are having a negotiation where our party leaders are negotiating as equal partners because they are both able, and one owes the other, a significant political debt. Raila owes Kalonzo a political debt where he was supposed to have supported him in 2022. And so going forward, they can only negotiate as equal partners.
So that's the base of argument.
That is the base of argument. Okay. That is why, you know, until we have that sort of solution on how they can work together as equal partners, then really we might not have a deal. And that is why you'll hear the party leader of Wiper saying that, you know, if that deal then doesn't come in that manner where we are equal partners, then they are ready to go at it by themselves.
Perhaps that is the reason why over the weekend they said they want a structured dialogue.
There has to be structured dialogue, yes.
I'm yet to understand what the meaning of this structured dialogue, because Lavender, when you hear what Sylvia Kasanga Honorable is talking about, is that they are not entering the Azimio.
Yes.
They want to be as equal partners. But then, all along, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka has been on the other side of One Kenya Alliance, and then we have got ODM now, and then actually who is now calling who into the party?
Well, I don't agree with Mheshimiwa here that Raila owes Kalonzo a debt for 2022. Yes, it is true they worked together in 2013 and 2017.
Yes.
But Raila did not go to State House. So he still has to make it this year for him to return the favor. But how do you return the favor, yet it did not happen as agreed?
Yes.
Raila did not make it to State House. So he's there right now running for presidency. So let us just be realistic with this thing. I'm a realist myself. Because right now, as things stand, I think it's shaping up to be a two-candidate race. We have Raila Odinga, we have William Samoei Ruto, the Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. So the better thing that Kalonzo should do is just weigh options between these two forces. Which one am I joining? Because I don't really think he's really genuine to say Raila owes him something, yet Raila is not the president. He's trying again this year. So the best he can do is to come, they join hands, they try it again. Then next time now Raila can return the favor. Yes. But for now, Raila is running for presidency, and the best that Kalonzo can do is just to come, they join hands together with Raila Odinga, they go to State House, they work together because they have done it before. Nothing can really stop them from working together again.
Yes.
So I think we welcome Wiper to Azimio. We work together, we win this thing round one, we make it to State House. Yes.
Mheshimiwa, when they come together as equal partners, so what positions will they go for?
The issue is not so much the positions. Yeah, the issue is now how can we work together. And those are the salient details that are being discussed. I can tell you there's a lot of conversation. And let me just tell you about the structured dialogue.
Yes, because it came out so profoundly in Mombasa.
I'll tell you why.
Yes.
What my sister here might not know is that there was actually a written agreement back in 2017 on how then His Excellency Raila Odinga will support Kalonzo regardless of whether they win or not. That he will support him in 2022 after, of course, having supported him twice over. So there is a written agreement to that fact. And it is convenient now that suddenly the agreement, not that it is null and void, it still stands, but now it's being disregarded. And you see now that is what causes mistrust amongst people who are trying to work together.
Yeah.
And also incidentally, we are very clear, and Kalonzo has come out very clearly, so has all the other OCA principles, that we are only going to work with like-minded people. And when we look at all the other, leaders who are seeking the vote this year to lead this government, there is only one other camp so far that we can work with.
Yeah.
And that is the Azimio camp, and not the Kenya Kwanza camp. We are very clear on that, because one of our strongest conversations we are having with Kenyans today is, for us, we have to deal with corruption and we have to strengthen devolution. And those two items, you will not hear them coming from the Kenya Kwanza team. So we are clear on who we are likely to be able, who are like-minded leaders who we want to work with. So for us, we are happy to get into conversations. But why we are insisting that they have to be structured is because of the lack of trust that we have seen, where pre-election agreements are tossed aside when people now enter into government. And although we have the amendment law, the political amendment law, that now safeguards pre-election agreements, we still insist that we need to have clear technical points that lead up to whatever agreement that we shall come up with, which can hold, you know, through the test of time.
Let me just interrogate you briefly. The pact between Honorable Kalonzo and Raila Odinga was done under NASA, right?
Yes.
And NASA is no more.
Yes.
So we cannot say that the pact still remains active between the two?
Actually, what I can tell you is that when finally the agreement will be made public,
yes,
it was not a NASA document. It was a document between His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga. It was the two principals. So you will see it when the document will be made public, which I'm sure it will be, if at all, you know, the things don't go as envisioned. But it's our prayer that by Friday, we will have an answer.
Okay, Mheshimiwa Lavender, it seems there's going to be some boiling pot in the next coalition to be formed over the weekend. Because if that's the situation, then you can imagine what Honorable Raila Odinga has been on the front line saying that in Ezekana. And Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka as well is also coming with another talk of, you know, what we have to respect the pacts we had initially. It's going to resuscitate the gains and the losses they made in the past.
I think Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, he's just trying to raise his profile because he can't just come. Like, you know, Raila Odinga, we have worked before, and again, you are going for presidency. Now let me just come and support you for a third time. No, he has to play hard to get. And that is what Kalonzo is doing. But deep inside his heart, he knows that Raila is going for the presidency, and the best that Kalonzo can do is just to come and talk with Raila through that structured kind of agreement. So he cannot just come. What he's doing is playing hard to get, so that they also see him as someone who is also principled, so that they don't just take him for granted, like, you come, you've been supporting us, now join us, let us do this, let us do this. So he also has to come with demands, which is really, really normal in politics. But deep inside, he knows what is there.
I'm quite interested to see what would happen after the pact. Give me a picture on how the new formation would look like, because the president will attend and will witness the signing. Gideon Moi will also be there, the KANU chairman. Paint for me a picture on how that coalition would look like.
It will be a grand coalition. Actually, call it a grand coalition.
Okay.
A grand coalition that will have, it's like a three-legged stool. Okay, so you can see the top of it is the grand coalition that is being supported by three strong, you know, call them arms or legs, for instance. Where on one side you have Azimio, on the other side you have the president's team, which is Jubilee, and then you have the Oka principals and the Oka team. So you can see the three legs form, you know, the grand coalition. That's what it will be. And it is not the first time we've seen grand coalitions in this country.
Exactly.
It is not the first time.
In 2002 we had the NAC coalition.
Absolutely. It is
so
not
this
the
is
first
like a
time.
replica of what happened in 2002.
You could say
Absolutely.
that. Yeah, you could say that. And let me just say something, because my sister has a narrative here that I have to comment on.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, Kalonzo Musyoka is not just raising his profile. That is a misconception, because Kalonzo Musyoka himself has a high profile. He's an international leader. For all intents and purposes, and whatever you want to say about him, he's an international leader.
Yes.
Once the handshake happened, he is the leader who the president sent to bring peace to the region. And he has had very many successes when it comes to peace building in the region. Kalonzo Musyoka still remains and will always be the undisputed leader in Ukambani, regardless of what you hear our governors say. In fact, what our governors say, it is the media that, you know, latches on. When you go back down home, nobody is latching on to what the governors are saying. They're not, because first, our governors in Machakos, especially the two who are outgoing, we have a lot of audit queries. They have a lot of audit queries, and our people are alive to the fact that they are not the ones who are going to tell us which direction we are going to go. And for Honorable Charity Ngilu, Governor of Kitui, she is a political survivor. She knows how to play her game. Her ground is not easy right now, and she has to align herself in a way that she can survive in the next politics. And she's always done that.
I didn't really discredit Kalonzo's profile.
No, it's okay.
Let me it as far as August is concerned. Because you know, politics is a game of comparative. Yeah, it's a comparative game. I was just trying to do a comparison between Azimio, Kenya Kwanza, and the Oka. So that is why I narrowed it to two political factions. So I was just saying, Kalonzo is trying to raise profile as far as August 2022 polls is concerned, I'm not in any way discrediting his profile. Okay. I know he's a
I appreciate that.
That is someone I respect. Actually, the last time I was here, I said Kalonzo and Raila Amolo Odinga have worked together before, and nothing can stop them from working again together because they understand one another. So I'm really happy that Wiper is actually warming up to the Azimio faction. So Sylvia, Kalonzo is someone
Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Yes. How it will happen. Yeah.
You're making a point.
Yeah, I think I might have lost track of the point I was trying to make.
And I was asking you, accusing Honorable Charity Ngilu as a political survivor. Might this sound like an allegation because the ground you're saying is shaky right now for her?
Yes. The gubernatorial ground is shaky. It's tough. This year is tough. You've had His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka saying that eventually, if she really wants to go back for that gubernatorial, she will have to go back and talk to him again, you know, so that he can rally the support for her. So that is really the thing that I'm talking about. It's a tough ground, and in politics, like what my sister is saying, you know, you have to stay relevant.
Yes.
And you have to be part and parcel of negotiations and where, you know, the power play is being arranged, so to speak.
And Fungilu, I don't really think she's a survivor per se. I just think she knows how to manage politics of transition. Yeah, whenever there's a transition taking place, she places herself strategically. So that is what Ngilu is good.
That's what she's doing.
That's what you do as politicians. That's what you do. The game of possibility.
Yes.
You look for a space and you fix yourself inside there.
Yes. All right. I think that is what I call survival.
Yeah.
That is what I'm calling the survival tactic.
Yes.
And, you know, you will hear that Ngilu knows how to survive, like she's saying.
Yes.
You'll hear people like Mudavadi don't know how to manage politics of succession because they tend to make the wrong decision and they miss the boat, you know. And we've been saying he has missed the boat yet again as we go forward. But yes, I think that is just what I was trying to say.
You know, it's quite interesting because when you look at the issue of equal partners, what kind of equality will be there? Because Kalonzo Musyoka said that he's going for nothing but the presidency, and Honorable Raila Odinga is also going for nothing but the presidency. So what is the equality? Lavender?
Sylvia tried to talk about the equality, but I still maintain that when Kalonzo is coming, we are going to negotiate how the honorable member is actually going to work together with Raila, because Raila is going for nothing less than the presidency. So when he's coming, I think they'll only have to sit down and agree on that structured form of talks that we have mentioned here. So Sylvia said he's coming as an equal partner. I'm not disputing that, but now let us wait and see how it goes. But in the end, the gentleman that I know, that is Kalonzo, we'll actually just have to say, Raila, let me support you for the last time. We make it to State House. We see the role I can play in this arrangement. Then from there, I can pick it up from you. Because when we're looking at all these regions, we have 47 counties. What is his ratings per sub-county? When we live per county, sorry, I'm used to sub-county because of the county thing. So they'll have to sit down and do their calculation. What is your rating per county? We have 47. Outside now, the Ukambani voting block. So from there, I think they can work out something. But Kalonzo is someone who is coming with over 2 million votes in his basket. Actually, you can't compare him with these other people claiming that they have votes, yet they never campaign beyond their constituencies, and they want to go for presidency. So I think these are things that they'll sit down over the weekend and agree, because I believe they've been talking. I believe they've been talking, and I insist that Kalonzo and Raila Amolo Odinga are two gentlemen that come a long way. They have history together, so they'll not disagree. So I'm very optimistic that after this coming weekend, we are yet to see the direction that Kenya is going to take politically. And I'm very excited about it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mheshimiwa, you know, when you hear that the president will witness signing of that pact, this is a big deal to the coalition. And clearly it tells that the president's heart, where the president's heart is all about. And we can all say that 2022 politics is completely aligned to what the president is looking for. from that alone?
Yeah, you can say that. I think the president is on record in State House actually saying that he's happy to support Azimio because it aspires to his dream for this country. It aspires to where he would like to see the country go. It aspires to the fact that it will you know, uplift the country from where he lives it from. You know, he has spoken to that very clearly. He has said they will fight corruption, they will do this, and it's bringing Kenyans together. And the president has been really working hard towards, you know, bringing the country, you know, together. So he is on record as supporting the idea of a one Kenya, a united Kenya, and he's happy to witness the unification, the joining of, you know, more people into this oneness.
That's quite unlikely because we rarely see the president attending such functions. We've had several NDCs, KANU, ANC, ODM. He's never attended any.
Yeah, and you see why? President has been working. He's not been politicking. He's been busy working. Now is when he said he's now getting ready to start the politics. So now this is the beginning. This marks for him. This and the Sagana 3 mark the beginning of the president now getting into politics. And that's what he has said. And that's what he has been saying, that first he has to work. And you know, you have to respect that because we know what has happened in his government. You know, this Mzozano in Jubilee has cost the country a lot of heartache, divisions, you know, and all those other negative things that we are trying to run away from, the negative things that the handshake was trying to, you know, to resolve in the first instance. So the president is just getting ready now to start politicking. And we are looking forward to seeing the impact that it will have, especially the Sagana 3. You know, we are all waiting to see, is Mount Kenya finally going to, you know, calm down and settle and take direction, you know, after his pronunciations in Sagana 3. We are all curious what it is that he is going to say, declare, tell the truth about, you know, some of the divisions that he has had with his deputy. We are still keen to know what really happened in that sense.
I'll come to that, to Sagana 3 pretty well. And think about this question. Was Kalonzo Musyoka prevailed upon to shelve his ambition and join Azimio? You'll answer that probably because you sit on the other corner and you can have a hint. But Lavender, you look at the gentlemen and the ladies who are behind Azimio as a team. This must be a big win for Raila Odinga.
Yes, it is. It is. It is a big win for Raila Odinga because looking back, Raila is someone who has really done so much for this country. He has won elections, but I don't want to go into that for now. But now we have the government on his side. I'm not saying it's a government project because he's been winning elections before. What we are trying to say is that this time round, we are not worried about voting and then our votes are nowhere to be seen at the end of the day. So it's going to be fair because the government actually is not going to deny him. I'm sorry to utter these words, maybe they don't sound really diplomatic, but that is the truth because I said before we have to be realistic. So we are just comfortable that this time around, Raila Odinga has worked hard, but we are not worried about what the government is going to do at the end of the day because now we have the state really saying this is the right person we think can take Kenya forward. But now the details, the president and his people will give us over the weekend. But again, looking at it, Uhuru himself is a product of a planned succession. Looking back in 2002, when he was nominated to parliament, made the minister for local government, and then after that, Moi said, this is the person that I really want to take after me. And we all know what happened. I will not go into details. Come 2013 again, the president, before 2013, in 2007, the Grand Coalition government, the president ensured he put Uhuru in a very strategic position, and that is deputy prime minister. And that is why Martha Karua felt like, I did so much for this government, why am I being bypassed? Why is Uhuru being given prominence? You remember the utterances of the late John Mishuki, that if you want to talk to Kikuyus politically, then you have to go through Uhuru Kenyatta. Na yule ambaye anacheza na Uhuru Kenyatta, tutatwanga yeye kisiasa. So Uhuru knows the benefit of a planned succession. So I just think it's right to also take part in whoever is going to succeed him in State House. And we have a few months left. He can no longer sit pretty in State House. He has now to come out and tell his people, this is where I'm comfortable with. So that is one of the things that I think is going to be discussed in Sagana. Like right now, this is what I want to be done. This is the direction I want my people to take politically. Yeah. And I don't really see why politicians aligned to the Deputy Prime Minister are feeling bad because Uhuru did not endorse his deputy. Because when you look at the pact within Jubilee, Ruto was a very powerful deputy president. It's like they were co-sharing power with Uhuru Kenyatta. So Uhuru is just right when he says this is somebody that we were sharing everything with in government. So why am I going to support him again for another 10 years? Yet I'm going to be out. For the 10 years they worked together, Ruto was a powerful president. So I don't think Uhuru owes Ruto anything politically. The person who is owed is Raila Odinga. And taking us back to history, in the 60s, when Jaramogi Oginga Odinga said, it is not yet Uhuru. We cannot have Uhuru when Jomo Kenyatta is in detention. So maybe this is the right time when the son of Jomo Kenyatta has decided to rudisha mkono. And as Kenyans, it's going to be a historical moment for us. We are excited, waiting for it. Uhuru Kenyatta has the right to support whoever he wants. And I don't really see any problem with that. Let us wait for the historical moment. Let us wait for the Sagana declaration tomorrow. We are very optimistic, as I have said before. But nothing stops Uhuru Kenyatta from supporting whoever he wants to succeed him. Ruto has served the country for 10 years.
I will ask Mheshimiwa here whether Kalonzo Musyoka, Honorable, is happy about that. And whether Raila Odinga is a project. He said that it can never be a project. It can never be a project. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to answer that question. Whether Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka was prevailed upon not to move anywhere but to join Azimio. We are going to answer that and much more after this break.